Hey, this is Notser, and this is the Tier 6 Premium British Destroyer Gallant. HMS Gallant will be a premium that should appear in the store at some point today or tomorrow. It's going to coincide with the launch of Dunkirk. It's a movie by Christopher Nolan about the beaches of Dunkirk, where the British forces were being surrounded by the Germans, and sort of a last-ditch effort by a bunch of sailors from Britain to get the soldiers off the beaches. It's a very interesting story. I can't wait to watch the movie. How is the ship, though? Well, the ship is a Tier 6 British destroyer. It has the unique trait that should, keyword should, carry through all British destroyers, where it can do single-launch torpedoes. As far as my build, very standard torpedo-focused build. These guns are not super arcs of the caliber that is the Americans, but it basically is. It feels very familiar if you've played the American destroyer line, and that could be disappointing to some people because that means you really can't use this as much as you would like at range with the guns. Generally, what I like to do is send the torpedoes at a target or an area, use my smoke, fire for my smoke, limit the number of times I'm engaging in open water, and rinse and repeat. That's really the goal of the ship. It's pretty small, which is great. I really enjoyed the size of it, and the single launch. That's compelling enough, right? That will probably sell a lot of these ships, is players going, you know what, I really like single launch on my British cruisers. Why not enjoy it at Tier 6 with HMS Gallant? So in this game, we are going to try and hook ourselves on with our teammate. The turn's very good. You know, everything feels very maneuverable, responsive. The health is, pretty poor. I'm going to be completely honest with you. It could be better. It is very small, though. So that's why. It's a harder ship to hit. You're probably going to be tanking a lot of damage because of the size. And I really do believe, and this goes for a lot of destroyers, but in this one, for sure, you want to enhance your teammates. And you don't want to be close to the enemy who's using radar. And I was like, crap. Who's using radar? I don't see them. I don't hear them. I don't know who it could be. I'm looking over there. I'm like, is it hydroacoustic maybe? It probably is hydroacoustic, and yeah, I believe it was the Graf Spee. Oh, yeah, the Graf Spee, I think, was detecting me because it was that close. So, we pull back. Send torpedoes and pull back. Clearly, if it's hydroacoustic, the torpedo's already seen it. It doesn't matter. So, right now in the game, it is Epicenter, of course. No one's going to capture or anything, and I was making a detour. I was visiting the island. Hey guys, how you doing? It honestly looks small, right? I mean, it looks reasonable in size. But detour, trying to find any way I can take out the enemy destroyers. I don't want to engage them by myself. That would be suicide. But if I had one or two friendlies, absolutely, it would feel very good. Now that the range is 8 kilometers, it's usable, but it could be better. You got about 2 kilometers of dead zone between the maximum concealment that you can get with the and here we go, Farragut. So we have slightly better concealment than the Farragut. Obviously, that doesn't matter when he's coming directly at me. I felt like I had to pop my smoke in order to avoid dying, and I'm going to consider sending my torpedoes. And I want to make sure they're really close. So it's 2 sets of 4. Or you could do 1 set of 8, 8 sets of 1. That's the nice thing about it. And he's showing his side. So we're going to see how much damage we could do consistently. Guns are pretty accurate. I would say that the traverse of the guns is somewhere between a American and a Japanese. So it's about 15 to 18. So it feels responsive enough that you don't need expert marksman, and you feel like you can engage left to right, but it's definitely not American in that category. You do give up a little bit. Speaking of give up a little bit, friendlies, what are you doing? Why are you running forward towards the enemy and dying? Torpedo rearm? It's okay. It could be better. It's 96 without a buff, and then I think it's, what is it, like 87 with the 10% off? So, you know, it's usable. You can send your torpedoes. By the time they get to the target, it's about halfway on the rearm cycle. And AA is completely garbage, though. This has no use whatsoever towards aircraft carriers. You, in fact, don't ever need to turn off your AA protection because it's such shallow range. Just 1.2 kilometers. 1.2. Really? Really, that's great. That's great. So, trying to size up the enemy, we saw that the enemy destroyer pulled back. He's pretty low. Probably not going to move forward. Hopefully we can strike the Alba. There is aircraft in the area. Again, AA can be on at all times. You will be detected before your AA engages. And yep, there's the Farragut. Try and keep him detected. There's only, I think, Japanese at this tier that have better concealment. Or equal. So you can be very much Japanese in nature. It sort of has the range of the Germans, the concealment of the Japanese, and the gun systems of the Americans. That's really what it feels like when I play the Gallant. So, the enemy Alba that we did send torpedoes at, of course he turned off. However, there's nobody in the center. And that's good. We can capture this base. I can hopefully keep the team ahead. But I wouldn't say the Gallant is strong enough at any given role, torpedo, guns, concealment, in order to just overwhelm someone. It really is the full package and the usage of it. Similar to the Americans. And that means that to some extent you need to be comfortable trying to be a little bit too close to the target. You know, you feel like, I wish I could do a little bit more damage. But clearly, you can't. And that's the American line, right? That's the American line. You get close, you bully a target, you use your health pool against them. I highly recommend some sort of survivability. I don't believe I have it in this build right now, but I think survivability is, of course, really good for any destroyer that's going to be engaged in combat for an extensive time. Even a Japanese, I mean, health for destroyers is so much more impactful than if you were to take it on a battleship, because the battleship, always seen, they're going to do that damage in probably half a second. For destroyers, you can dodge, smoke, speed, conceal, to keep that health really lasting a very long time. So, Farragut's in the background, seen. I would love to kill him. He's 11 kilometers out. Definitely not going to hit any torpedoes whatsoever. We have lost 2 battleships, so we're losing on the points, but we do have the center, and there's nobody here to stop us, which always feels good. Got an enemy at Omaha moving forward, considering firing. Yeah, you know, I'm going to pop my smoke. I believe my friendlies are detecting him, so I'm going to engage him. I want to see how much damage we could do. Because he's broadside, and because he's in Omaha, he has no health. We're going to fire some AP at the broadside. So you can see, 6 kilometers out, the shell's already diving down. Not quite American, but basically. And we get a lucky Citadel. It is 120 millimeter guns, which is nice, and that does sound very Japanese, because it is. And I'm going to do the single launch now. It's an enemy battleship, a very slow American enemy battleship. And I'm sort of expecting him to turn slowly, maybe not move. And of course, he's about to gain speed. He's going to move out of the area, and my torpedoes won't hit anything. But that's not the end of the game. You know, the game's still going on. We still have a chance to pull this out. Not doing quite as much damage as a Soviet destroyer, obviously. and the torpedoes are not finding their targets. So far it's not looking too good, Notser. Why should I buy this? The potential. The single launch torpedoes, the small package, good concealment. You just gotta find a spot that is open for you to do damage. And we just haven't found it yet. Just gotta stay persistent. But I only have one more smoke. And yeah, it's not really working out. We do relight a fire, and I think he actually put one of our fires out, so it should be sticking. Yeah, well, the fire chance is a little bit higher. You know, it's sort of like an American with the Japanese fire chance, or the Soviet fire chance. Americans are notorious for having terrible fire chance on their guns. So it does feel pretty nice in that regard, that I can light the target on fire, maybe get a flood, but if I see a Farragut, I'm going to engage him. I don't care how far away he is. And yeah, there we go. Take out the Farragut. Friendlies take out the Arizona. We are now leading on points, but we are behind on a single ship. I noticed that there's an enemy who is fairly low, and I think I need to enhance my friendly, the Königsberg, who's in the area. And the enemy's going to fire at us, and this is probably going to hurt. Yeah, that hurt. Responsive ship, definitely responsive, and oh no, enemies can definitely see me. I'm sort of between a rock and a hard place, but I do decide to go towards the friendly Königsberg, consider sending torpedoes. However, there is a friendly New Mexico in the area. I'm probably just going to send them at the smoke, expecting them to just sit there. Hopefully it'll move them off, but it's right at the max range of the torpedoes. There is no other torpedo system that you can select. 8 kilometers is the only version. Friendly Königsberg is going to be dropping torpedoes, good, but we do want to make sure this guy dies. So either way, I'm committed. He has to die. So I'm going to be spotted, use the line of sight to drop all the other targets behind me. He picks up on the possible torpedoes. I switch to AP because it's a broadside French. Maybe not the best choice. And I remember saying on stream, I was like, oh god, doesn't do enough damage. It's not German. Yeah, it's not German AP. Definitely not German AP. But the friendly Königsberg, he has torpedoes on his port side, and he's going to be using them. So I'm going to hope that he hits his torpedoes. If he doesn't, we're still going to go in towards him, hoping that we kill him. And we were detected for a brief bit. That tells me that the destroyer is close. And he didn't need his torpedoes. He actually kills them with his AP, which is nice. And the enemy is trying to move back towards the center. So it's 3 versus 5. Not looking good. There is a chance to get the enemy Fubuki and the Bayern dead. And I really want to hit that. And I made a comment. Boy, am I hitting the gun. Every single shot. And you're going to see 4 shatters already. Alright, every time we actually hit him, we're going to hit that gun. That front or rear gun. And I'm just going to be... again! Hit the rear gun. It doesn't matter what caliber gun you are. If you hit the gun, it's going to shatter. We do set on fire, which is good. I definitely do notice that the fires just... they kick in a little bit quicker than if I were playing an American. Everything else from the gun point of view feels American other than the fire chance. And just keep an eye on the Alba. The Alba does look like he wants to try and punish me. Keep up the fire. Although, honestly, the DPS from the dot... oh, God, here he comes. Well, we're going to drop the speed. Turn. Ah, God. We're just barely alive. Quit it shooting me. What are you doing? Hey, chill out, guys. Chill out. I don't want the Alba to beat the Königsberg, and I'm hoping... no, he misses his torpedoes. The Königsberg looks like he's run aground. Oh, he got an AP shot. One more big AP shot. He should be able to take him. Yeah. Good job. Good job, Königsberg. It was definitely worth it. I could have easily gone to the western flank, left him to die, but I chose to keep the enemy spotted. He could set up an attack, and I did try to shoot. Granted, not as much damage as I would have liked. And we've basically only been able to use our guns. If you were only using your guns for the Gallant, it would not be a good ship. You do need to hit your torpedoes. I just have been unlucky, and the game is just so close. I have to stay very cautious. I can't get too close. But friendly hits a torpedo, probably gonna cause him, yep, causes him to put out the fire. So we know that for the next 10 or 15 seconds, he's gonna be immune to dots. And he is definitely interested in killing a friendly Königsberg. Keep an eye on the enemy Arpeggio. Could potentially send torpedoes, but he is going directly south. I kind of want to keep my torpedoes for the Bayern. He is up, yeah, and there we go, fire. Perfect, perfect. It's exactly what you want. Whenever you see a target, put out the dot. You want to be able to relight that dot in a reasonable amount of time. And I'm just trying to do a quick peek, see my friendly's health. I notice that he sends out torpedoes. Enemy Bayern. Of course, he drops off because he's not being detected by anyone. There's no aircraft up. And boy, does this feel bad. So, the plan is, enemy is going south on the southern side. I expect the Bayern to come towards me. I am going to move south to give ground so I can, or gain ground towards the enemy Bayern, so my concealment, my 6-kilometer range concealment, will be better than the range he'll eventually be at once the smoke dissipates. And then I'm going to exit out. Oh, this is really bad. Then I'm going to exit out while avoiding the Arpeggio. I'm assuming that the Arpeggio is going to the Haruna. That target is going to rotate around and go west to east. So there should be a window where I can escape. And I'm hoping... Oh, we get a tell. Okay, someone's in the center. Oh, God, he's right there. Send my torpedoes. Gotta run away. Gotta run away. I do narrow spread because, let's face it, I'm just trying to get hits and back away. Why do I fire? Because he is going to be pushing into me. I want to sort of bait him to just come towards me. And for whatever reason, he turns. He feels it. He feels the torpedoes. He's fired HE. Oh, please miss. Oh, gosh. So close. Oh, no, and our torpedoes miss. I gotta just stop firing, Notser. You're outside the 6-kilometer range. I'm hoping that the Arpeggio was going around, rotating around that island. I'm just gonna run away. He's talking mad crap. Yeah, just keep talking. Just keep talking. Look at the scoreboard. It's 1 minute and 30. Yep. Oh, just barely at the edge. Why did I take that shot? Gosh. Oh, avoid. So close. So close. We're holding our fire, clearly. We are going to hold our fire. And if we were to only hit torpedoes, 60,000 and just gun damage, you know, the guns are okay. But yeah, we've got to hit those torpedoes. This is not a gun-focused ship. Stop running. You're dead. Waste of time. Oh no, you're a waste of time because we're going to win in 1 minute. I mean, yeah, you got to, you know, if they're going to give it, you got to give it back. Nah, I'm good with a win. Keep dreaming. Oh, crap. But Gallant, small, compact, fits right in there between the Japanese and the American play style, give or take. And yeah, I kind of enjoy it. I kind of enjoy it. The single launch will definitely give you kills that no other destroyer can give you. And for now, that's enough to sell it to me. So, HMS Gallant coming out soon, very soon, like today or tomorrow. If you're interested in the future British destroyers, and we know that's going to be coming down the line in the single launch, this is a great example of what you can expect. I hope that you enjoyed me schooling some noobs. Yeah, schooling some noobs. And yeah, 60,000, not bad. Not bad. Need to hit a little bit more torpedoes, though. Little bit more torpedoes. So yeah, predictably, 2 kills, 1 token citadel. That was on the Omaha. You shouldn't expect that on most ships you fire at. We didn't really score a lot of points, but we played the objective correctly. That's the most important point. I could have easily maybe gotten a kill, but died in the process. Instead, we won it, and everyone on our team, that Königsberg, who I helped to keep him alive, was able to kill 2 ships and definitely contribute to the win. And that's really the key aspect of this that I think not enough destroyers try to do. They don't try to help their teammates. And I think you need to do that. Most of my damage was in fire and HE, of course. We sent 64 torpedoes, not a single one hit. Maybe another time. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.